McManey, ProfitCopilot.com, and today I'm going to take a deep dive into content creation. So if you want to get more website traffic and if you want to get higher conversions, this content creation strategy is for you, because today you will learn how to uncover the type of content that your audience really wants. And then I'm going to show you how to structure that content so it delivers the maximum value to your audience. So this type of content can attract lots of high quality backlinks, and it also tends to get shared across social media. So you're also going to learn how to optimize your content for free search engine traffic. Plus, towards the end of this tutorial, I'm going to reveal my favorite artificial intelligence tools that can make the entire process so quick and easy. I mean, you can literally have a 2,000 word article done and published in less than an hour. I'll show you how to do that towards the end. Okay, so first of all, what is content in the first place? Content can mean a lot of different things. Well, in this instance, for today's purpose, we're talking about articles, videos, or podcasts. Now, in this tutorial, I am going to focus on creating articles, but it's the same process for video content and for podcasts. So let's dive into it, because the 4 steps to making this work are, first of all, to gather data, and then we need to organize that data so it makes logical sense. Then we have to create the content from that data, and then finally, we have to optimize that content. So the first thing that you need to do is decide what type of article you want to create. So we've got a few different options. So the first one, the most obvious one, especially for affiliate marketers, is going to be the review article. These are very quick and easy to make. We've also got news articles. I'll show you an example of each of these in a second. We've also got how-to. This is really good for list building. We've also got opinion. So if we create a controversial opinion, that can go viral or micro viral within your niche. We've also got open letters. These tend to get a lot of social media traffic. So I'm going to show you what each of these looks like in a second. So open letter, I've spelt that wrong. Let me fix that. There we go. We'll say that's a double T there. And then we have a list article. These are possibly the easiest to create. So I'm going to focus on list articles in this tutorial. Okay, so first of all, let me show you what each of these looks like so you have a proper understanding of how to assemble these. So this is a MacBook Pro review, and if we take a look at how this article is structured, we can see that there's links embedded in this piece of content. It is a piece of high value content. We have these pro and con lists, and if we scroll down, what we should see somewhere towards the bottom is a call to action. Now it's either going to be in the form of links, an opt-in form, or social media buttons. So the purpose of these review articles is really to appeal to middle of the funnel people. So top of funnel is people looking for how-to information. Reviews really cater to people who are on the verge of making a decision. So it's really for the middle to bottom of funnel people. So they're using the review to help them make an informed decision. So they tend to be pretty good for affiliate marketers. So here we have at the bottom of this article, we have an affiliate link, I presume, to where someone can go ahead and buy it. So that's how it's monetized. Notice that most of the articles that we're going to use today have some form of call to action. Very important. I'll speak more about that in a second. Next, we've got news articles. So again, these are really quick and easy to make. All we have to do is find relevant industry news, take a portion of it, maybe even take a quote from somewhere else, and then speak about why it's important, why it matters. Now, an example of this, it can be seen here on Digital Agency Network. If we scroll down, we can see how it's monetized, where they've got banner ads in place. I know from experience, banner ads, in particular AdSense, if you're brand new, is a good starting point. There are more advanced CPM networks. If you want me to talk more about that, let me know in the comments. I'll go ahead and create a separate video for that. But basically, we monetize news articles through banner ads. We can use list building, and really the big call to action comes down to sharing this type of content across social media. So deciding on which article is best for you, which format of article is better for you, really depends on your business model. So let's move on to the next one, the how-to article. So this is how to get a puppy to stop biting. It's a piece of high value content. And notice that we have links in here. These are actually links to affiliate products. So they're Amazon associate products, I haven't had enough coffee today, but these links are monetized. But if we scroll down to the bottom, we're going to get this direct call to action. So this is going to help solve the problem of getting a puppy to stop biting. So that's how it's monetized. For me personally, I think they're missing a trick here to build an email list. So what I want you to do is, if you are creating how-to content, I want you to monetize it in multiple ways, because we really need as many income streams as possible. We diversify everything, right? So we monetize via AdSense or CPM. We monetize through affiliate links, and we monetize through building an email list. The email list is the most powerful aspect here. If you want me to go into more detail about email marketing, tell me in the comments, and I'll go ahead and create that content for you. So let's move on to the next one, which is an opinion piece. So when it comes to opinion pieces, there really is no better resource to look at than the New York Times. They're king of the op-ed opinion pieces. So just take a look at their website, look at the headlines. You can learn a lot from just the headlines on the New York Times. I mean, this one is fantastic. What if Monica Lewinsky had Twitter in 1998? So that is a great opinion piece, and opinion pieces need a couple of things. First of all, they need your opinion. It should really be a strong opinion, and then you need supporting evidence, some data, something to support that opinion. And if you can weave in a prediction or two, then that's going to help position your stance as a leader and an authority figure in your space a lot easier. Okay, let's move on to open letters. So here's a good example of an open letter. This was sent by Swim England to Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Now, your open letter should be addressed to someone pretty high profile within your industry. You know, you can target political figures or actors or whoever you like, but it must have real relevance to your industry in order to catch fire and spread around social media. So the whole point of these is to get traction to your website. So for example, well, let's take a look at this. So basically, this open letter is going to be a complaint of some sort. It's going to state facts. So here it provides data, verifiable information, and then it is signed by the author. Now, you do not have to sign it just by yourself. You can have multiple people sign the open letter. So you might want to team up with others in your industry who agree with you, get their name on board. That adds credibility. And these are very good for social media traffic. And now let's move on to the list post. These are very common. Again, they spread like wildfire across social media. They are very powerful. So here's an example from Everyday Health. It's 8 ways to lose the last 10 pounds. So all it's going to do is just list out 8 ways to lose more weight. And there you can see each one of these should be viewed as almost a mini article by itself. So for example, let's say if you can write 100 words on how to increase your exercise intensity, just 100 words or so, you do that 8 times, that's an 800 word article. So view these little descriptions almost as mini articles in themselves. So if we scroll down, we should see some form of call to action. So on this page here we have an option or a call to action that asks us to subscribe to their newsletter. Okay, so once you've decided what type of article you're going to create, a review article, a news article, a how-to, opinion piece, an open letter, or a list, then you need to look at what your competitors are doing. Let me show you what I mean. So let's take some notes here. So we are going to Google your keywords. Google. If you want me to create content on how to select the best keywords and even do niche research, let me know in the comments. I'll go ahead and create that video for you. Also, we're going to look at the word count of your competitors. So word count. And you can also take an extra step if you want to, which is to look at the number of backlinks a piece of content is getting. So we can also include shares as well. So we can go ahead and use something like BuzzSumo to see how popular a piece of content is. So let's head over to Google. Let's put in some seed keywords. Let's say we want to teach people how to lose weight with a keto diet. So let's say keto diet. Let's go keto diet plan. That could be a good one. Or let's say we want, I don't know, 10-day keto diet, 10. Let's go for top 10 keto diet plans. So let's say we're creating a piece of content for that audience. What we would do here is take a look at the best performing content for those keywords. So for example, we take this piece of content and we would copy all of this. We'll just grab all the content, all the words, select all that. We go to the Hemingway app. That's hemingwayapp.com. And we paste in the entire article, and it's going to show us how many words this piece of content has. So 3,896 words. So we know that in order to compete with whatever is on the front page of Google for your chosen keywords, we're going to have to create a very substantial piece of content that can compete with what already exists. So what you would do is go through the list, and listen, there's an easy way to automate this, which I'll show you towards the end. So we just grab all this content, scroll right down, grab everything, and then go back to Hemingway, paste it in, and now that tells us that this one has got 1,700 words. So your article length is one factor. It's a very important factor, but it's not the only one. We also have to factor in the number of backlinks, the number of social shares, and we also have to think about the domain authority of the websites that are ranking on the front page. So while article length is a good indicator, it's not the only thing that we really need to pay attention to. So we can head over to Ahrefs, which gives us a free backlink checker tool, doesn't cost anything, and we can put in a website address here, and it's going to bring back a whole heap of data and tells us exactly how many backlinks that piece of content has got and the websites that link to them. So it gives us some really good data here that we can analyze. So really what we need to do is just weigh up all the different factors that are pushing the content to the front page. So it's not a black and white matter. With SEO, there's a lot of gray areas and things that we can't really determine just by examining the content itself. So have a look for the Ahrefs backlink checker. I recommend that you start using it. And listen, Ahrefs is one of the best tools around for SEO. Okay, so let's move on to discovering content ideas, because you might have your keywords selected. You probably have a rough idea of what you're going to write about, but we want to get really specific here. We want to find out what our target audience are talking about, how they think and how they feel. I'm going to show you how to uncover that information using social media. Now, so this is how you're going to gather data, so, or at least find research ideas. So let's call this section content. Okay, so we're going to look at Facebook groups. We're going to see what people are talking about. We're going to ask questions. We're also going to use Reddit. Reddit is an absolute powerhouse of data. And we're going to have a look at Pinterest as well. So I hope I'm spelling all these right. Okay, so let's go to Facebook. Let's type in some seed keywords. Well, let's go with marketing because I'm a member of a few marketing groups already. So what we would do is, if my internet is fast enough, okay, we're going to go down to groups, and then we need to find groups that have got a decent amount of members. Okay, so if it's got, a handful of members, ignore it. Go for the big ones. So here we've got over 100,000 members, 65,000 members, digital marketing public group. So let's go with this one. It's got over 200,000 members. So what I would do here, in order to come up with some content for my article, I would ask a question. Okay. First of all, do not mention that you're writing an article or that you're a marketer or you're involved in content creation in any way. If you do, you will get a different set of results, and you don't want that. You don't want people to focus on what you're doing or your motivation. You just want to appear like anyone else, just a regular member of this forum who wants the best way to achieve something. So, for example, in digital marketing, I might ask a question such as, what is the best way to Google to index my website quickly? So that could be my starting point. And what's going to happen, because the size of the group is pretty enormous, lots of people are going to come back and they're going to give you their opinion. And within that, you should be able to find some pretty authoritative answers as well. So we're going to use that, right? We're just going to use that as a starting point. Then we make a list of all these answers. And that is step one of gathering our content. We could also go to the search bar. So over here on the right hand side, click on the search icon, and we could say something like indexed in Google. And now we're going to get lots more tips and advice and opinions on how people are getting indexed in Google quickly. So we would add that to our list. And then we would go ahead and do the same thing in Reddit. So Reddit is full of different communities. So let's use a search. Let's say something like indexed in Google. Now we have a list of the best results. Really, we want to go to posts and see what the current discussion is. I say current, this can go back a long time actually. So here we can see, this is 3 months old, but the data, the information is still probably going to be pretty good. So we would go through all of these. We can change how it's structured. So we can sort by relevance, hot, top, new, comments. Let's go with top. So we get a lot of information really quickly. Scroll down. You want to find posts that have got a lot of comments. So here, 12 comments. It might not be relevant. This one could be a good one. So posts not getting indexed in Google. We'll take a deep dive into that. Now, usually the top post here is the best because other members of the community are upvoting it. So that's going to save you a bit of time. So you can just go to the best one. However, make sure that it is actually the right answer and it's not someone being sarky or snarky. You want to make sure that it really is the correct answer. And then go through the discussion gather as many tips as you can and go back to the search page and carry on. Just go through this list, get as much information as you can. Just add this to your document brief. We'll speak more about briefs towards the end as I show you how to automate a lot of this stuff. Okay, let's move on to the next one, which is Pinterest. On Pinterest, just put in your seed keywords. Let's say we want to make a list of the 10 best vegan breakfast recipes, the 10 best vegan breakfast recipes. Here it's going to give us loads of information, loads of tips. So what we want to do is find the ones that have got data. So this one, for example, here we go. It's got data that we can use. So we can add that to our piece of content. Either take the image, link back to the Pinterest. We can easily embed that in a WordPress document, or we can take that and then credit the author in another way. So just go through your list, add these to your brief document. So now you should have a list, quite a sizable list of content topics to talk about. So you're going to take a deep dive into your article. Remember, we said if we're working on a list, then if it's a 10-point list article, each one needs to be like a mini article in its own right. So how do we create this content? How do we structure it in a way that makes logical sense? Because all we've really got now is just a list of ideas, right? So let's organize it. So an article usually follows this kind of outline. So it starts with an intro. Now, your intro should really talk about the purpose of the article. So who is it for? What are the big benefits of consuming that piece of content? And it's okay to say who it's not for either. This is going to polarize people. It's going to separate the people you don't want opting into your email list or taking action when we get to that point. We can also add a table of contents. So TOC, table of contents, which is really good for navigation. So you've probably seen these on my articles. I always have a table of contents that people can just click to the point that they want to get to. So it makes usability a little bit more streamlined for people. Then when we've completed the intro, we move on to the body. So the body of the article contains a few elements, really maybe 3 elements. So the first one is going to be a subtitle. So this has got a subheading, so subhead. So this is going to be a H2 tag, and it's going to have specific keywords in there. So it's going to break up the article into these subheading sections. It makes it really easy to read. It's really good for SEO too. Each subheading should have its own image that should be relevant to that piece. I'll speak about how to get images very briefly. So we've got a few options. Let me show you them. The first one is called pexels.com. This is really good for free stock photos and videos if you want to add video content to your articles. We've also got Pixabay. Let me show you that. There we go. Again, these work in a very similar way. They just have hundreds and hundreds of stock images you can use. And we've also got unsplash.com, which is another very popular one. So there's no shortage of free images that you can add to your articles. Okay, so we've got the subheading, we've got the image, and then we also need to put in the description. So this is where you describe what the solution is. So description. Okay, and then when we have the body completed, we need to focus on the outro. So the outro is really simple. We don't spend too much time on this, and there's really only two factors to consider here. So we have the close, and then we have the CTA. So the close basically sums up what the article was about and why they should take action, which then leads into the CTA, the call to action. Then it tells them what they need to do next, if they want to continue their journey with you, or if they need to buy a specific product to solve that problem. That's where you would have it, at the bottom of the article. Now, the important thing to note here is you write the body first. So this section, that's number one. Start writing your body before anything else. Okay. The reason why we do that is because when it comes to writing the intro, we now have something of value and substance to write. So it's not as fluffy. If we write the intro first, it's a little bit weak and it's not very engaging for the reader. So what we want to do is, if it's a specific question that someone's asking, the reader's looking for a specific answer or solution, we give that to them very, very quickly, almost immediately. We give that in the intro. And by writing the body first, it allows us to get a really good idea of the big benefits of the article. So write the body first, then the intro, and then the outro. Okay, let's move on to the optimization. So optimization is pretty simple because we need to put our keywords into the title. We need to add a meta description tag. We need to add alt images to we need to add an alt tag to the images. I'll clarify that for you. We need to add an alt tag to the images. We need to have internal links. So internal. And we also have to have external links. So I know that people are I know that people are sometimes worried about linking out to other websites, passing link juice, that kind of thing. Don't be worried about that. If you have good links that support the document, support the piece of content, and there is strong editorial merit for those links, Google is going to love you for it. Okay, so don't worry about linking out to other websites. When it comes to your internal links, again, make sure that they have strong editorial. They have strong editorial merit. We don't want to link out just for the sake of it. We don't want to link to internal documents just for the sake of it. There has to be a strong purpose. And the great thing is, when it comes to optimization, we've got tools that will do it for you. There's WordPress plugins that make it so easy to do this. And we can also use AI. Let me talk to you about AI. I love using AI. It's absolutely changed the way that I create content, the way that I run my business. Let me show you some of my absolute favorite AI tools. Okay, the first one is called Phrase, and let me show you how to use it just real quickly. It's absolutely amazing. So here we have the outline builder. Let's put in some seed keywords. So let's put in something relevant. So maybe email subject lines. So let's say we're going to list out the 10 best email subject lines. Now we choose a keyword modifier, so we can go with best. And now it's going to bring back the estimated search volume for the key phrase. It's also going to make some suggestions as well, other ones. It's going to bring back the related questions from Google. It's going to make it really super easy to compile a piece of high quality content that answers multiple questions. It's fantastic for SEO, fantastic for traffic as well. So we could add a few of these to our outline. Then we can go ahead and create document. This is going to create a content brief. So content brief is just a list of ideas, a list of talking points that we need to cover. So we're going to add more to this brief before we do anything. So remember at the beginning of this, I showed you how to go out and find what your competitors are doing, how to look at the article length. Well, this is going to do it for us. This is going to bring back so much data. Take a look at this. So what it's done is I think it's looked at the top 20 results from Google. It's processed the average word count of those articles, which is 2,300 words. There's 8 headers on average, 5 links, 8 images, and a domain authority of 70.5, and an average number of backlinks of 457. So that tells us it's going to be quite difficult to rank for these key phrases. So we might want to, rethink things a little bit. However, let's say we're happy with our key phrase. We're going to go ahead and build a piece of content based around it. So here we have all the articles from the front page of Google. So that's the headline. These are the subheadings that we spoke about just a few minutes ago, the H2. If we go down, there you can see that we have lots and lots of talking points. This basically tells us how our competitors' content is structured and how we should really structure our own as well. But we have a secret weapon. We have content directly from our target audience. So we know what they care about, we know what they think, and we know how they feel. So we can weave that into the mix as well. So what we can do here is go through this list. So let's say we want to talk about funny email subject lines. Just click that, add that to the brief. Let's say we want to talk about personalized ones. Add that to the brief. Let's say we want to cover curiosity, such an important aspect of email marketing. Let's say we want to focus on urgency as well. Or let's say we just want to grab all of these tips, hit paste outline, and now it's brought them all into the brief. So now we can structure a piece of content. We know exactly where we're going. We have our outline, and then we can go ahead and start creating the content. So that's taken a couple of minutes, even with me explaining the process. You see how quick and easy this is? So let's say we want to focus on this subheading. So what we do is copy and paste that. We go to another AI tool. For this, I'm going to use Jarvis. I'm going to put links to these in the description, by the way. They will probably be affiliate links if I remember to hook them up. But basically, Jarvis is going to give you a bunch of frameworks, a bunch of templates that will make the entire process really quick and easy. So you probably just want to go to the long form assistant. We can follow blog post workflow. So let me show you. It's amazing. So here we can put in the description. We can add a title, or we can have Jarvis create one from scratch. We can have Jarvis create an intro paragraph if we want to. Or do you know what? We can just, let me show you how quick and easy this is. So if we just want to go from scratch, check this out. If we just paste in professional email subject lines, we can say something like, here are 3 professional email subject lines. And now we hit compose and get Jarvis to create some content. There we go. It's generated a whole bunch of content for us. We can hit compose again. If we like where this is going, there we go. We can hit Command J all day long. It's going to take a deep dive into each of these. Look at that. So we've already created a piece of content which has got, I'm not sure how many words that is, but all we have to do is really format it, correct any mistakes. Jarvis isn't perfect, right? No AI solution out there is perfect, but Jarvis is absolutely the best one on the market today, and that's why I use it, and it's why I recommend it too. Let's say we're happy with our piece of content. Oh, there we go, 153 words. It's produced 153 words in a matter of seconds. Think about how many times you would do this every single day. How many pieces of content would you create using this approach? You could monetize this in dozens and dozens of different ways. Reed Florin, a member of the Jarvis Facebook group, suggested setting up a Fiverr gig to help pay for the cost of Jarvis. So, you know, if you get a couple of sales a month, it's job done. You know, Jarvis is effectively free for you and for your business. Okay, so let's say we're happy with the content. Let's go and optimize it with AI. So this is called Market Muse. They have different plans available, but it is one of the most powerful SEO tools available. It's going to show us exactly how to optimize our content in quite some depth. Let me show you this. So here we enter a topic. Let's put in our seed keywords. Click run and fetch. What it's going to do is go through the Google search engine results. It's going to analyze all of that content. It's going to bring back an average for us. So now it's brought back a list of topics or keywords that we should include in our content. It's also going to make a suggestion on how many words to include, just the same way that Phrase did. Now, Phrase does have a similar feature to this. So if we take a look at Phrase, it's going to show us a topic score. Now, we can take a deep dive into this using Phrase, but in my opinion, Market Muse is much better. So what we would do is copy and paste our article in here. It's going to analyze it in real time. It's going to give us a content score, which at the moment is pretty bad. It's a content score of 4 because we have a word count of 162 according to Market Muse, when we should be hitting 2,500. So of course the content score is going to be low, but it shows us where our keywords currently are. It gives us extra opportunity. So here we might be able to change this to make it more relevant here. So let me show you something. If we add in, let's say, cold emails. So let's type in cold emails. There it goes, green. And now it changes the score here from 1 to 2, which matches where it should be. So we would go through this list and add these keywords into our content. We would weave them in strategically. So we're not listing them out. It's not like keyword stuffing. We weave them into the existing content. Okay. And then the content score will increase. Our target will be on point, and it should be well optimized for Google. So that is an amazing tool. So the AI tools I recommend are Phrase, Jarvis, and Market Muse. That's exactly what I'm using in my business. But listen, the really important thing with all of this stuff is, in order to get traffic and get conversions consistently, you have to be consistent, okay? So it's not a case of do it one time and then sit back and leave it. We have to do it day after day after day after day. Because look at this. When you are consistent, you can achieve amazing results like Matt. He's made over $2 million with My Traffic Methods. If you want to know how he did it, if you want to know the secret, and you are serious about growing a popular and profitable internet business, then of course you need more traffic, right? Because traffic equals money. So I'm going to show you how to get it for free using methods and strategies that you cannot get anywhere else. I never share them on YouTube. I'll give them to you for free when you go to profitcopilot.com/traffic or click the link in the description or the thumbnail on screen now. So hopefully you found this tutorial useful. If you have, give it a thumbs up below, subscribe to the channel too, and hit that little notification bell so you never miss an update from me. And I will hopefully see you again very soon. Thanks for watching. Take care.